Good morning, Janvi. It is Tuesday. As you can tell, I am a cat. That's the sound you make, Merlin! I'm vlogging! Can't you see? I have to see it. Go from having the birds squawking at me in the background to having the cat squawking at me in the foreground. Okay, so today we're going to do something a little bit different. Today I'm going to review an anime that is actually new to the market, and as far as I can tell, is not a bad anime. And if you watched my previous anime review, you'll know that I'm only good at finding bad animes. As such, this was one that was recommended to me by somebody else, and that's how you know it's good. The anime I am, of course, referring to is Charlotte. If you're not familiar with this, here's a brief synopsis, and yes, as always, there's a couple spoilers. However, considering the first season is not yet finished, only so many spoilers. The premise of the anime is simple. You have the main character, whose name is Yu Otosaka, as well as his younger sister, Ayumi Otosaka, and it chronicles the story of the character Yu Otosaka through his experience in a new school environment. Now, this is where things get a little bit funny. Most of the main characters in this anime have a particular special ability. Now, these special abilities are not the usual special abilities. When you say special abilities, you think something cool like flight, superpower, super speed. No. Yu's special ability is to completely possess another person he is looking at for 5 seconds. That's it. After 5 seconds is done, he is not in control of them anymore, and he is just back to himself, usually picking himself up off the floor. His ability is discovered by another school. He is transferred to the high school by the name of Hoshino Umi. I don't speak Japanese very well. I barely speak English, so this is a challenge for me. And is invited to the school by one Nao Tamori, who I would like to say is an interesting and fantastic character. Also adorable. She's a really good tragic character, actually. This is not just an ordinary high school. Think of this a lot like the X-Men Academy, where not every student there has one of these special abilities, but a good portion of them do. And the other ones there show promise at having these abilities, but not necessarily the case. Now here's the catch with these special abilities. These special abilities only manifest in an adolescent's age, i.e. 13 to 16, and then they go away completely. Just gone. Gone. Some of the abilities you see in the first few episodes of the anime are things like teleportation, but not really. It's basically only in a straight line at high speeds with very bad brakes. Another one is the ability to turn invisible to only one person. Everyone else can see you just fine, except for that one person. To them, you are invisible. And the first 5 episodes kind of follows a little bit of a pattern. Find out who the person is, find them, engage with them in some way, convince them to either come to their school or to never use their powers ever again, and then they're gone. And that's the episode. Now, the anime sets itself up, episodically speaking, as a fairly lighthearted, yet kind of clever anime. It's got some witty moments, it's got really interesting characters, and overall, it doesn't pull any hard, fast punches. It doesn't try to do anything too serious, and that's where it gets you. Then episode 6 comes around, and it completely pulls the rug out from underneath you. All of a sudden, it sucker punches you in the feels. Early in episode 6, she shows promise of being able to use a power of her own, but they don't really know. They only have a name for it, and that's collapse. And that can mean anything, and then boom! Sucker punch in the feels. It makes you roll a nat 1 on your will save for not feeling the feels. It goes from a fairly intense moment all of a sudden to awful things happen, and then she dies. I would like to iterate here. She is a 12-year-old character, she is lovable, and the character who before this was a bit of a narcissistic asshole, and I'm an expert on this because I am one, all of a sudden the anime sweeps the rug out from underneath you with this hard moment, and the next 2 to 3 episodes are spent with the character Yu dealing with his grief over the fact that his sister, his only living family member, is dead, is gone, in the ground. And at first I thought, oh, joke, she's not actually, no, she's actually dead. From there the anime carries on, adding extra layers to the plot and extra layers to the story. The fact that this anime is actually more character focused, to explain what I mean there, it's more focused on the character development of the main character as well as the supporting cast. I use the word character far too many times there, try to ignore that. As he goes through this transition of coping with his loss and finding that every support in his life is in the ground. What I'm really enjoying about this anime so far is the characters are fun, they're entertaining, and they're all complex. Except for the throwaway characters, because throwaway characters are never complex, and I don't expect them to be in a show ever. Overall, highly recommended. I suggest you check it out yourself. There are a couple different sites you can check it out on, and I'm sure if you looked, you can stream it for free online, you awful person you. And as always, if you like this video, please leave a big old thumbs up. If you didn't like it, leave a big old thumbs down. Be sure to subscribe if you like this sort of thing, and check in on Tuesdays when I typically upload, and Fridays when Sarah always uploads, typically. I know.